G'day everyone and welcome to Aussie Cousins Wrestling, and we are here to review WrestleMania Night 1. Was it good, was it mid, or was it bad? Let us know in the comments below about your thoughts, and we're going to go right into the matches now. But before we do, just quickly hit that subscribe button and like the video for us. That'd be fantastic. And first off, we had the match between Gunther and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. What do you think of this one, Mikey?
It just seemed to, I don't know, it was a hard one to gauge. It wasn't really bad, but it wasn't good. It was sort of just, for me, it was below average.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked well. The moves didn't hit, the spots didn't hit. I did feel a bit sorry for Gunther that he had to lose to his own moves.
Yeah.
I just felt like that wasn't the right way to go. I'm okay with Jey winning it because I picked him and everything is good, but I just think the match could have been a bit more of a big spots in it. I just think it struggled to kick off the night in a good way.
Yeah, I was thinking if Gunther was going to be losing his title, it would needed to have been like a 15, 20, maybe a little bit longer minute epic, and I think it went about the 10-minute mark. It didn't seem to go as long as what I thought it would for Gunther losing his title, and then he kind of gave it up a bit too easily for me. The ending seemed really rushed, or like he tapped out within 10 seconds of the sleeper hold being put on. Gunther is insanely strong. He's one of the strongest guys pound for pound in the entire business, and yet he couldn't outmuscle Jey Uso with a sleeper. So look, Jey Uso winning is probably the right decision from a marketing point of view, I guess. Yeah. And quite often these decisions are made as such, but I'm not entirely sure the ending was that good. And match 2 was for the World Tag Team Championships between the War Raiders and the New Day. So this match was serviceable. I thought they did pretty well together. They seemed to have relatively good chemistry in the ring together. It felt more like a match that you'd see on Raw, or maybe like a B-level pay-per-view, and probably not one for the WrestleMania stage. But the New Day, it is great to see them getting another moment on WrestleMania, because their actual record at WrestleMania as a tag team, I'm pretty sure they may even be winless. Yeah, so what do you think of this match, Mike?
Yeah, I think it was solid. I think they did what they could with the situation they had. It wasn't the biggest build-up like in terms of in matches between them, that was all. Yeah. They did well. I think it was good. They definitely came out a bit better than the first match. I think it sort of helped, but they were solid. They did the job.
There was almost a disastrous spot pretty early on with Ivar going for his doomsault off the top rope and slipping and almost landing on his head like a reverse Brock Lesnar situation. Not the shooting star press, which Brock did, obviously, but that could have been dangerous. Thankfully, he seemed to be okay. The New Day boys hit the daybreak. Kofi held down the leg of Ivar and they got the win. And next up, a match that I really enjoyed. It was Naomi versus Jade Cargill. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. The whole match was good from start to finish. Jade's come a long way, and Naomi is just on top of her game at the moment. Match was good, spots were good. The crowd was actually into this match, and it was good to see because the storyline's been really good. So what it proves is you invest in the storyline, crowd gets invested, people actually want to see the match. Yeah. Now, good match. Really good to see these two actually have a good match that took them into another level. Yeah,
and there was a couple of big spots from Jade Cargill in this match. So you had that catch from the top rope when Naomi dived to the top rope. The first one into the stalling suplex. That was unbelievable. And then catching her into the fall-away slam. Then you had the electric chair position, I think it was. And then going into a powerbomb. Looked very close to Naomi being disastrous, but I think she landed okay, and then into the Jaded. A really good finish that was. I enjoyed this match. Next up, we have the United States Championship match between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, and this match ended with Jacob Fatu going for the Samoan drop off the top rope, followed by 2 of his lovely moonsaults to get the win. What do you think, Mike?
This match was brilliant. I'm so happy that Jacob won it cleanly.
Yeah.
There was no interference from anybody or anything went wrong. There was not even a bad spot in the match. Everything was done good. LA Knight really performed well and looked like he was invested in actually putting over Jacob as well. Yeah. I think it was actually a really good match.
Yeah, I agree. I think they have really good chemistry in the ring, to be honest. I know LA Knight doesn't always have the greatest chemistry with people. I mean, we saw the matches with Shinsuke Nakamura, which were borderline disastrous at some points. But I think him and Jacob Fatu did really well today. And also, I think Jacob is now just going to have the rocket strapped to his back. I would love to see a run of 9 to 12 months with the US title where he just destroys all comers and no one can even get close to getting a win on him. Similar to the Gunther IC title reign, I think that could be the blueprint for Jacob Fatu going forward. We do need to give a bit of a shout out to, before the finish, Jacob Fatu went to go for a moonsault and LA Knight caught him straight into a BFT.
Yes,
that looked fantastic. That was like Randy Orton going for the RKOs on people doing moonsaults and shooting star presses.
Yeah,
that was really well done. Really and just a reminder, if you love this Aussie twist to your WWE content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video so someone else can get the joy of watching this. Alright, let's get back into it. The next match on the card was Rey Fenix stepping in for Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. What do you think, Michael?
It was good. They didn't have much time to work on anything as good. I thought it was a good match, and they did the best they could. Bit of a shame that Rey has to lose on his second match because of the situation, but I did think it was good, and I hope El Grande Americano actually keeps going, and they don't just end this now. I do feel they're going to end it, but I hope not. It actually works well.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be maybe like a Raw after WrestleMania kind of reveal. That, oh, it was Chad Gable all along. It was Aleister Black. He just like covered up his tattoos or something. Yeah, it is. I'm sure it is. But it looks like that could be the way they're heading for it. I don't know whether this is going to be something long term, but Chad Gable is... El Grande Americano is genuinely fantastic. That he has basically learnt a new style of wrestling within the last couple of months, and then he's putting it on the grandest stage of them all and barely putting a foot wrong. And one of the spots that he hit in this match, he went up to the top rope and hit some sort of 450 backflip senton splash. That's the best that I can describe it. It looked insane. I was like jaw open, like the general jaw open for a while after that. I didn't know what I had just seen, but Chad Gable just looked fantastic. Again, a really good night for Rey Fenix. Disappointing that he does have to lose on his first big match, but I guess this is always going to be the plan for Rey Mysterio being in this match, so they probably couldn't change that because then otherwise they'd have to completely change the storyline heading forward. Next up, this is a bit of a divisive match. It is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, with Tiffany Stratton finally hitting her prettiest moonsault ever that she went for about 3 or 4 times during the match to get the win. How'd you see this one?
Yeah, this is... You're right. It depends on how you see the whole story of the match. To me, it was entertaining. It was a bit sloppy at times, but I guess that was just the whole thing because they were generally trying to make out they generally just did not like each other. Yeah. And it was more of sometimes a fight when they were making contact with their punches and kicks. I'm happy that Tiffany won, to be honest, the way it worked out. Her mouth... Her chipped tooth was not a good look, to be honest. At the end, you can tell she was conscious of it. I'm going to say a little bit above average match. Yeah, just sloppy at parts. Yeah, I think Tiffany Stratton actually had a really good night because I think there's a few things going against her. Obviously, it's her first time at WrestleMania. This is her very first match, and she's going in as champion. Like, the pressure on you is intense. And then she's got Charlotte Flair there, who's wrestling, I think, just her second match in 15 months back from injury, which is going to make anyone rusty. Maybe she was perhaps sandbagging a little bit for Tiffany. You don't really know. A couple of times Tiffany would try to get her up for moves, which normally Tiffany would have no issue getting anyone up for, and they didn't quite work. That's right. But whether or not that was just playing into the storyline, it's hard to tell this kind of thing because it's been very shoot work the entire way through. I think it was a really good night for Tiffany, all in all. And finally, it is the triple threat main event, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Mikey, you can say what happened in the end because you just about nailed it. Yeah, just about pretty much got there. It was pretty much Paul Heyman. Looked like he was going to, when he got the chair, as he's famous for, when it looked like he was going to have to choose between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. He looked at CM Punk and then pretty much said to him no, and then went to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was laughing his head off. And then as he got into the ring, he said, "You made me do this to CM Punk," which was quite good. And then he gave Roman the chair. The 2 chair shots were freaking heavy, and they were hard. You can tell they would have hurt. He told Roman to hit the chair on the back to Seth. As Seth was getting up like the Shield did all those years ago and last year at WrestleMania. And then as he... I don't know if you could see it, but he deliberately positioned himself around behind Roman Reigns, and then he low blowed Roman Reigns, which for me, made me jump because I had picked the angle. I was ecstatic about it, to be honest. And then he literally turned and he gave Seth the chair.
Yeah.
And then Seth cracked Roman. And that was heavy as well. They literally hit each other so hard.
Yeah.
And then obviously Seth went on to win the match.
Yeah.
And obviously sided with Paul Heyman. The match was brilliant.
Yep.
From start to finish, I reckon this probably was the best match of the night. It sort of helped the night to an end. The crowd was really invested.
Yeah.
And it proves once again, like we said, storylines that work, people invested in. Really good match. All three of them performed. Stamina was really good. It was a really good match.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was a lot of fun. There were obviously some down points, but they were needed because they were just putting everything into this match. There was a lot of finishes, some really close near falls, some incredible 2.99. Yeah. Roman is genuinely one of the best in the world at doing the old 2.99 kick out. And then the turn at the end, and it was definitely telegraphed towards the end. You could see Paul Heyman was obviously going to choose Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins' promo on SmackDown the other day, I basically tweeted straight out afterwards, Seth Rollins is absolutely turning heel this weekend. It was the Drew McIntyre style heel promo where it's like, I am right in my own way. Yeah. And everyone else is wrong in my way, if that makes sense. So, look, a really good finish to the show. What do you think overall?
I have to be really quiet about it. I mean, only an average.
Yeah.
The matches that didn't perform really were quite slow. The crowd looked they were really, I don't know, they were over it early, which didn't help.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jey and Gunther's match didn't set up the night for a good one. If they got that right, the crowd would have been up for it. Because they didn't get it, the crowd switched off really early. Naomi and Jade rescued it a little bit. Jacob and LA definitely tried to. And then, obviously, the main event, they were into it. But, yeah, the other matches really dropped the bar.
Yeah, I always feel like Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, if that had have opened the show, I think the crowd would have been pumped for a lot more, because that was let's go Fatu, let's go LA kind of thing the entire way through that match. They were hyped for that match. They finally got into it at that point in time. Had that opened the show, it would have been good. The crowd were just about dead for that Jey Uso and Gunther match, and unfortunately it really did set the tone until later on in the evening. Okay, now for our Wrestling Predictions League that we do here on Aussie Cousins Wrestling, Mikey is up 27-24 thanks to an extra correct pick in NXT Stand and Deliver from earlier. And for WrestleMania Night 1, Mikey gets 7 points because he got 5 winners correct. And then he gets 2 extra points for picking the angle in the main event perfectly. And then I get 5 points for picking 5 winners over the night. So that takes the total scores at this point in time, 34 to Mikey, 29 to me. This is disappointing, but hopefully I have a good night for WrestleMania Night 2. Let us know in the comments down below what your predictions are for tomorrow night's WrestleMania. And please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more Aussie twists to your WWE content. And the most important thing from us, of course, is that we hope you all have a wonderful day.